Hi, and welcome to my podcast, Help Me Rhonda. I'm your host, Dr. Rhonda Karg. I'm a clinical psychologist, and each episode of this podcast, I present mental health related information to you in hopes that maybe you'll gain insight into your own behavior or maybe learn some new skills and tools that you can use to improve your mental health. As you know, sometimes I do these hot takes. Today's going to be a hot take on dating emotionally unavailable people. This is going to be my hot take on that. So, I've heard a lot of stories this week about dating emotionally unavailable people. And some of the things that I observe is things like having a very casual dating situation, if you want to call it that, casual sex partners, friends with benefits, and believing that those sweet things that they say to you actually are true. But you're watching their behavior and their words and their actions are not really lining up. And if you're confused about how the person you're dating feels about you, if you've been seeing someone for 2 to 3 months and there has not been any sort of discussion about what we're doing, are we progressing, do we feel like we're a good fit, do we want to continue to get to know each other, are we monogamous if that's what you're looking for? Are we going to be exclusive? So many people are afraid to have that conversation, and especially people that have more of an anxious attachment style. It's really hard to have those conversations with the person you're seeing because you're being vulnerable. You're going to them from a place of vulnerability and saying, what are we doing? Because it's a place of vulnerability because they can tell you that you guys are just hanging out, you're just kicking it, and it's nothing more than that. You guys are just casual sex partners, and that's it. And uh, that can be a really hard thing to hear, especially if you have been reading into things that they're doing or making excuses for why they're not expressing their feelings to you. Like, he's shy. He really does have feelings for me. He's in love with me, but he's just not sure how to express himself. But I can tell. I can pick up on that. Yeah, no. If a guy is into you, he will let you know. He will find a way to let you know. Even shy guys will find a way to let you know. They can do it in cards. They can text it to you if they're too shy to say it to you face to face. But guys that are into you will let you know. There will not be any questions in your mind. Now, if you've been seeing someone for a while and you're not sure what the status is of that uh, situationship, as I call it. You know, situationship meaning it's not a relationship. It's like a relationship light. You know, maybe you guys hang out and watch movies together, or maybe you go hiking and things like that together. It's almost like boyfriend, girlfriend, but not quite. That's called a situationship. And that's another way that people can get stuck and not realize that they're with people that are actually wasting their time because they're not interested in taking it any further. And you can try to be cool and hang out with people and maybe even have casual sex with people and think that you can, be chill girl, or you can, be somebody that is just showing up for sex and that's it. Guys, guess what? If you are an emotionally available person, you will catch feelings for that person. You will catch feelings and it will not be pleasant because you will be hooked. You will be hoping that you're going to be the one that's going to heal them. You're going to be the one that's going to show them that people are trustworthy. You're the one that's going to give them a reason to get sober. You're the one that's going to lift them up while they try to figure out what they want to do with their lives. Okay? Is that what you want? Is that really what you want? Do you want struggle love, or do you want a partner? Do you want someone out here basically seeing what they can get from you, all about them and not about you? Are you willing to continue to put your time and your energy into someone who is emotionally unavailable? These are players. These are men who sometimes they're narcissists. They will take advantage of you. They know that you want love. You want to be loved, and they know that. So they will play you. And they will take you for what you have in terms of your time, in terms of your body, in terms of your money. They will take it all. And every once in a while, they'll give you a little breadcrumb. Every once in a while, you'll hear from them, and it'll take your breath away. And you'll think, oh, maybe he is finally catching feelings for me. In psychology, there is what we call a schedule of reinforcement, which is the frequency with which one gets a reinforcement. And a reinforcement is, let's think about it as anything that we will work to get, usually something pleasurable. So dopamine is released when we eat, when we have sex, when we do things that bring us joy, so on and so forth, okay? So we get this rush of dopamine, and it's so exciting because finally they've gotten in touch with us. Maybe we haven't heard from them recently, and all of a sudden they send a little text that says they want to get together for sex. And you get super excited about that. You start fawning. You cancel plans with your girlfriends. You're all about this guy. Okay, 90% of this is hormones, guys. Trust me, this is hormones right now. But that schedule of reinforcement is what we call a variable ratio schedule. It's the same schedule of reinforcement as with a slot machine. So you don't know if you're going to need to pull that arm on that slot machine 10 times before you hit the jackpot, or if you're going to have to pull it 1,000 times. And not knowing will make you sit there for hours pulling the arm of the slot machine trying to hit the jackpot. That's why gambling is can be very addictive for some people. And that's why, is because you just don't know when you're going to get it. So once you get, and rats are the same way, insects are the same way, like, we will work very hard for dopamine. And that can be a very, very destructive pattern. I mean, you can see it in alcoholism, drug addiction, other gambling and other addictions, sex addiction. You know, a person can become dependent on that person, place, or thing to make them feel better. They become addicted, and they don't even know that it's happening. It's insidious. Before you know it, you've spent 2 years with this person, and you still don't really know how they feel about you. Sometimes they're nice, but generally speaking, you don't hear from them that much. And the times that you do get together with them, they're not asking you questions about your life. They're talking about their life. They're very self-centered and don't have empathy for what's going on in your life, are not going to be the ones that are going to help you problem solve. They're not going to be the ones to ask you if you need help moving. No, they're not about that. They're about them. So don't get it twisted. If you're with someone and you don't know how they feel about you, chances are they're emotionally unavailable. If they've been seeing you for 3 months or longer and they're not sharing their feelings with you about things, chances are that they're emotionally unavailable. People that are emotionally unavailable, it can be a temporary thing. It could be because they're going through a very stressful time in their life, let's say. That can make people emotionally unavailable. They just are depleted because of the other things that are going on, and they just don't have the emotional bandwidth for giving anything to other people. So we all go through times like that, and that's fine. But if you see this pattern continuing and you're noticing that the person is breadcrumbing you, which, by the way, on YouTube, there's lots of videos about breadcrumbing, but this is a form of emotional abuse. They're causing pain in you because they're playing games. They are not telling you directly what is going on. You're giving them the girlfriend experience, and what are they giving you? Think about it. What are they giving you? Are they there for you emotionally when you need somebody to help you out? Are they doing nice things for you like you do for them? Are they concerned about your welfare? If you get COVID, or are they trying to ask you if you need anything? If not, chances are they're emotionally available. Chances are, unless they go to therapy and work hard on themselves, they're not going to change. You're not going to be the one to change them. I don't care how good you are to them. I don't care what kind of an awesome person you are. They're not going to change for you. They're not going to change. And I understand that part of you, that might be a part of you that was abandoned as a kid. And that part of you desperately wants love. And you can so desperately want love, that wounded part can get in the driver's seat of your life. And let's say you want love so much that you go from person to person to person who needs help. It's called broken bird or broken wing syndrome. And it's basically finding your worth in taking care of other people, fixing people, helping people out, dating damaged people, dating sociopaths, narcissists, emotionally unavailable people, people that are dishonest. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you might have to deal with out here when you're dating. And it is really important to be honest with yourself about what you really want. You might think you can be a chill girl. You might think that you can just hang out with these guys casually and not catch feelings for them. But there's a chemical called oxytocin. And if you continue to spend time with people and have sex with them, you will bond with them. There is a chemical in your brain called oxytocin that is released when you have sex. And you will end up bonding with people that are not good for you. Users, losers, and abusers. You need to be very, very careful. I want you to go into your dating situations, and I want you to go in with your eyes wide open. I want you to learn what the signs of emotionally unavailable people are. I want you to be able to know those cold. Okay? I want you to look into broken bird syndrome and find out if that applies to you, because, like I said, usually underneath that is a wounded part of you that desperately wants love. Maybe you were abandoned as a kid, or maybe you were afraid of being abandoned, like most of us are when we're kids and we grow up in certain environments. There's a lot of fear of abandonment, and that can also set us up for these toxic, exploitive, abusive relationships. Okay? And remember what your priorities are. Your health and well-being comes first. You are number one. You are numero uno. I've got a podcast on self-care. If you need to watch that, I'll refer you to that. But you need to take care of yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Not your kids, not your partner, not your job. You. After that comes your job or school, because you need to keep a roof over your head. So let's be real. After that might be kids or family or pets. After that might be friends, or maybe you could have your own priority list. But the person that you're just dating and getting to know, they come really far down on the list. You don't need to tell them that they're number 7 on your list of priorities, but I want you to know that that's where you need to focus your attention on you. Are you taking care of yourself, or are you wasting time obsessing about that man who is emotionally unavailable to you and is driving you insane? You're addicted to them. Or are you going to be out here maybe exercising, or taking care of your garden, or hanging out with your friends, or maybe paying your bills, like doing stuff to take care of you? And remember, nobody else is going to do this for you. You come first. And if you're looking at your friendships with people, your casual sex partners, people that you're in a romantic relationship with, if you're not getting your emotional needs met and you feel very insecure, the first thing to do is to focus on the things you can control. And as you know, the only things in life you can control is what you focus your mind on and how you choose to react to situations, right? Those are the only 2 things we have control over. So first and foremost, take responsibility for your feelings. These are your feelings, and it's not their responsibility to make you feel better. That's not what I'm trying to say here at all. First and foremost, my philosophy is that you can get your own needs met. So pay attention to what emotions you're having. Go watch my video on my body double. That'll help you to understand sort of where I'm going with this. But you can be everything that you need for yourself. Okay? That's not to say that you don't have expectations about what you want in a relationship. But I want you first and foremost to own your feelings and not try to blame your partner for how you're feeling. Okay, that's the first step. After that, though, it is okay to go to your partner and express what your needs are. If you need them to share more feelings and talk less about things and instead talk about their experiences, their reactions, their thoughts, their feelings about things. If you want to develop a more intimate relationship with them, that is important. I would argue that, especially for people that are highly sensitive, that emotional connection with someone feels like a bit of a lifeline. It feels really, really good to have that connection with someone. And if you're a highly sensitive person and you're dating somebody that's emotionally unavailable, buddy, that is like basically them telling you, I'm going to break your heart over and over and over and over, because you'll reach out hoping that maybe this time it's going to be different, or maybe you're in so much pain and you're desperate and you go to them for comfort, or for that emotional bond with them. And if they can't give that to you, it can make you feel very, very small. It can make you feel like insignificant, unimportant, like your feelings don't matter. That's how it can feel if somebody is emotionally unavailable and you're expressing your feelings to them. They can not respond at all, not even know what to say, and just look at you. They could have feelings of anger and defensiveness because they don't know how to handle their emotions, much less yours. So if you have emotions, they might get angry at you and get defensive immediately and not allow you to have your feelings. They won't hold space for your feelings either. Okay? That's another sign that they're emotionally unavailable. They'll shut you down and it'll make you feel very small and alone. And that is not good for your mental health. I've got other videos about this. Um, you know, ask for what you need though. I know it's scary to be vulnerable. I know it's scary, especially to be vulnerable with emotionally unavailable people, but they can't read your mind. It's important for you to express your feelings and thoughts to them and what you need. And if you're unhappy, please tell them. They deserve to know, and they're not mind readers, so tell them. And then see how they respond. And then based on their response, you can decide how you're going to react to them. So evaluate what's going on in your relationships, whether it's with family, friends, sex partners, romantic partners. Look at what's going on. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself how you're feeling. Are you feeling secure? Are they telling you how they feel about you? Are they interested in your life? Are they concerned about your health and well-being? Or are they just so busy that they can't give you any attention? Or are they just going through a hard time and they can't be there for you? Okay, I want you to really look at that if that's what's going on. So I want you to pay attention to your feelings. If you're feeling small, I want you to look into other YouTube videos out there. There's other creators that are talking about emotionally unavailable people. You'll find lots of good ones out there. Uh, Look into it more, and there's even YouTube videos out here about what to do if you are emotionally unavailable and if you want to work on it. And that's the beauty of YouTube, is whatever it is that you want to learn more about, there's probably a YouTube video out there on it. So if you are the person who's emotionally unavailable, therapy can help a lot. YouTube, there's self-help books and things. You can start off slowly sharing feelings with people. There's lots of different ways that you can kind of ease into it. But I'm telling you, if you're in a relationship or a friendship or a sexual partnership with someone who's emotionally unavailable, you are not going to be the one who changes them. You are not responsible for fixing them, financially supporting them, being their therapist, being their mother, being their biggest fan. You don't need a project. You need a partner. You deserve a partner. Okay? Don't be one of these people who spends 20 years with somebody like this. No. I know it's hard. Breakups are hard, but it's so important that you remember what your priorities are. If you do not feel safe in a relationship, I want you to pay attention to that. I want you to journal about that. I want you to talk to somebody who's earned your trust, talk to them about it. There are ways for you to work through this. Pay attention to the way that people respond to your requests for them to do things differently, or pay attention to how people respond when you express your feelings. Pay attention to how people respond when you make boundaries with them. Okay? Are they turning towards you, and are they concerned about your feelings? They may not necessarily understand your feelings, but they are at least concerned about it. They turn towards you and they want to work things out, and they want you to feel better. So that's their focus. That's a partner. That's an emotionally available person. That is someone who will help you feel seen, heard, and understood. They're less likely to make you feel small and invisible and unimportant and insignificant. They're gonna be present with you. They're going to want good things for you, and they're gonna demonstrate that in their behavior. And be mindful of making excuses for people that are not meeting your needs. Pay attention to that. It could very well be that you have a wounded part that needs a little bit of healing, and you could write a letter to that wounded part of you that desperately wants to be loved. Write a letter to her compassionately and talk to her in a way that you would talk to, let's say, a 10-year-old that is afraid and is going to have surgery. You would validate their feelings. You would say, I know this is really hard for you. Operations are scary for everyone. I know that's hard for you. I want you to know that I'm going to be here the whole time, and the doctor is very good at what he does, and he's done this surgery many, many times. So you're going to be in really good hands, and they're going to wheel you to the back, and they're going to put a mask on your face that's going to make you just fall asleep. And when you wake up, it's all going to be over. And then I'll take you home, and I'm going to take care of you. And we're going to watch movies together, and you're going to get to eat all your favorite food. And I'm going to massage your feet. And all right, so you're like saying things to that child who is afraid. You're telling them that you see them, you understand them, and they're important to you. And you're going to do whatever you can to make sure that they're okay. Is your partner doing that for you or not? All right, guys. So thanks for joining me today. I was feeling really fired up about this topic and really wanted to do a podcast on it. So I'll probably do more podcasts on this because I see such a need for it in the people that I know, that I work with in therapy, my friends, family, myself, dating. And so I'll probably do some more videos on dating and how to know if the person that you're dating is right for you or not. So I hope that you learned something today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.